Thanks to you for joining me this hour, sometimes as a black man who identifies as LGBTQ, specifically the G. It is necessary to show someone better than you can tell them, so that they can tell without a doubt that your no means exactly that. It means fucking no. Jesus. My opinions are valuable to me, as you may be able to tell from my spicy intro. But I feel like I have to say that out loud because a lot of people have felt the need to constantly devalue and just devalue me. So here it is. Black LGBTQ are not less than. We are not equal to or above in any way. We are just here. Trying to fucking exist, trying to find our fucking way, trying to find our joy. And we plead with you just to validate our existence beyond what the eye sees, okay? We are just here. But then I think about my expansion as a human. I was expanded by God in some way. And I realized that we feel love. And we sing songs, and we dance, and we smile, and we talk. We influence our peers with paintings and sculptures and fashion and beauty. We juxtapose fluorescent colors on digital mediums. Our expressions begin to take the place where our heart was. Our outward expressions, that is. The constant eyes and attention. It's kind of terrifying in hindsight. We become spiritual at a certain point. A lot of people shed their religions, shed their family upbringing, whatever. And I know I fiercely attempted to recover from the vile ways that people chose to hate me and chose to express their hate on our community at large. A lot of people are focused on all the wrong aspects of our basic humanity. It's abundantly clear, though, inside my head anyway, the memories, especially those that were attached to pain, because those don't fade as easily. But I survived. And since realizing my survival and my value in this world, my mission has become to survive everyone else's survival mechanism. I can't even get it out. Everyone else's survival mechanism. So I must revert to my childhood days. That actually seems like the best course of action. My childhood days when I was grounded. And back then, we didn't have screens in every room or TVs or stimulation. We had to stimulate our own brains. But I remember the days I sat on my bed for hours and without anything significant to think about, because I didn't have a TV and I didn't have music, wasn't allowed to play it when you're grounded. I didn't have particularly any trauma to recover from, because a lot of people now in this heroin epidemic, what I'm realizing is that a lot of people's pain, and they need a painkiller, is often rooted in some sort of childhood trauma. I was talking with the patient the other day, and every time I talk about this, someone always validates my assumptions about it. And it's not true 100% of the time. Of course, if you're traumatized as a child, you can recover as an adult. But if you don't, I can understand why. A little bit better than someone like my dumbass who was actually adopted and shielded from a lot of bullshit. But that having that freedom in childhood is now translating into adulthood. And that's the topic of today's show. is kind of how we are the observers of our own reality. And we're the actor and the founder and the player. Like we are, it's this weird, it's so weird. And I don't know if anybody has a brain like mine, but I want to talk about the best way to approach life, I think. And that's why I'm talking about this. I'm reciting this meditation right now because the memories don't fade. They haven't faded. I just have to find a way to remember them. But anyway, I think I can sit here and talk about these things and that's a privilege, because I wasn't traumatized as a child, and I was given a lot of space, a lot of space and time to think and to just be alone, but not truly alone. Like, people are actually abandoned as kids and actually had figure out who they were in solitude. I was put in solitude because I was too much. I was always connecting, so I was balanced. My solitude was in an effort to balance me. Like, I was very curious. Like, imagine me in my curiosity. Let me tell you a story. One day, and I didn't get beat for this either. I was like because my mom was so mad she couldn't even touch me, because she would have killed me. But I remember my little brother. He was still a baby. He wasn't even one. I think he was like 6 months or something. It was something like very young, like very, very young. And probably younger than that, honestly, because that's why it was such a bad thing. But I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was me as a child. But I'm curious. And I remember, if you ever watched as a kid, you watch somebody drive. You ever watch anybody drive before? But as a kid, it's like, you're like, wait, what? Like, you're pulling all these levers and pressing all these buttons, and we're going places. You smell the smells. You feel the feelings, you see the sights, you do all of these things. In my 5-year-old brain, I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, how does this work? Just the same way, like the same brain that I have today is the same brain as I had as a child. And I'm like, just as curious. And I'm watching people do this thing called driving. And they're pulling the gear shift, and they're turning the wheel, and they're pressing the gas and stopping with the brake. And so, over the course of my little brain childhood, without trauma and a bunch of other stuff clouding my consciousness, I'm soaking in what I can, and that is the watching people do shit like drive. So I'm in the front seat because I was a big child. I mean, not a big child, but I was tall enough to sit in the front seat. I've always been a tall boy. And I was the oldest, second from oldest, but my older brother's 9 years older than me. So he was like, he wasn't hanging out with me. So as the older child out of my siblings, I obviously got to sit up front. And then so I remember a day when my mom, so the little brother was in the back seat. My mom had me in the front seat, and she left the car on, and she went into the daycare to pick up my other two siblings. 2 seconds, Of course you leave on the car, We live in a small town. Ain't nothing going on, But I'm curious though. And I get a free minute. And I'm like, yeah, I could actually, because I probably, and I don't remember what thoughts took me to the action, but I probably was like, yeah, now's my chance. I get to push the levers. I get to press the buttons. I get to drive. But I didn't realize that this mechanical, that this was a machine, basically. And that I had the power to kill myself and my little brother in the back seat. So, long story short, or long story long because it's already too long, I got in the front seat, pulled down I pulled it from park to reverse. It only took one, but I didn't put the brake on. I don't know how I did it. Well, I guess it still moves without the brake on, but you're supposed to put the brake on, otherwise it messes up the transmission. But yeah, so the car started moving backwards. So we're parked at the door and we're moving backwards towards a line of trees. Thank God there was no sort of ravine or sort of a ditch or something, but basically we went backwards. But I remember being like, oh shit, and like furiously trying to stop the car, but I didn't realize the brake. I didn't realize how the machine worked, so I tried to stop the car with my foot. And the car's going backwards. I'm trying to stop the car with my foot. I'm sure it would work. I was sure at the time. Like, still to this day, I'm like, I feel the feeling of like being sure in your gut and being like, this will work. Like, just put your foot down, just like a bike. Well, just like a bike stand, No, it didn't work. We hit the median or the guard, on the ground with the stops the car, where you park and it's like the little concrete thing. Like, that's what stopped the car. But anyway, and then my mom comes out. I think I either run inside in like terror because I'm like, oh my God, I just moved this car, or I just sit there. I think I ran inside to get her because I think I was like really scared. But I remember not being touched or like being grounded as a result, and my mom being like, I can't even like begin to discipline you, like get out of my face because I will be a criminal when this is over. So I was spared. Yay. And to this day, I'm still a good driver. It's fine. But that's just a little story from my childhood because it speaks to my curiosity, speaks to my personality, actually, just as a person. And then it speaks to how many times I've been grounded for like the dumbest shit. And then so I'm pretty sure I was like grounded probably like for a week or something. I don't even know. I don't remember because I didn't really get in trouble. There was no pain attached to it. But yeah, I don't really remember how long I was grounded. But it's neither here. Pardon me, it's neither here nor there. We were sheltered from a lot of stuff. So I revert to a lot of those times when I was a kid and I was grounded and I just sat in my room alone in my brain. I feel like that was valuable. Just me and my young consciousness. Because I was thinking and I wasn't thinking about like terrible things. So I guess it was fine. And then I realized that my whole life has been filled with a constant like recollection of certain memories. And these memories are specifically me connecting with myself. I remember even earlier than that, a memory of like me like astral projecting once or twice. I think it was twice. I can count 2 times. Like I can count the number of times, but I thought they were dreams when I was a kid. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I remember floating down the set of stairs and seeing my mom I had fallen asleep on the couch with the TV on, glowing blue. Oh, it's so weird, but I have these memories of me connecting with myself, basically. And my spirituality, and if you've been listening to the show, has evolved, like, because it's like the more I do the show, the more my spirituality evolves. And that was really the point of doing it, because I'm a curious man and I like to talk about it. I'm a verbal processor, but nobody wants to talk about religion because it goes against their precious Jesus or their whoever. And so I'm left to my own devices, literally and figuratively. Here we are. But my spirituality has become less about external things, higher powers and shit and church and, pastors and stuff, and more about the elevation and expansion of the power that already exists inside of me. I recognize that, and I want other people to recognize that inside of themselves. All of the time that we spend, Black LGBTQ people, all that time we spend singing and dancing and finding joy has become more and more valuable with time, of course, in a world filled with people who hate themselves. That's the gag. That's the true gag. Because I'm like, wait, I spent all this time figuring out a way to love myself only to teach the people that taught me how to hate myself how to love themselves? The irony, it's cosmic and it's ironic, but I'll take it. People who lacked focus and chose to publicly ridicule me as a child, fuck you, and I laugh out loud because I see you and your ugly children miserable as fuck. But I begin to laugh at other people too who tell me to meditate. Like I haven't already been able to scan my memories like a digital catalog, bitch. Didn't even know I could do it. It just was like natural. I just thought people did. I don't know. I literally asked people like, hey, what's your mind's eye look like? They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't close your eyes. When you close your eyes, what do you see? I see nothing. People literally see nothing. How? Even if I don't have an image in my mind, something is swirling right now. But anyway, yoga can focus your mind. I think that's why Beyonce's like telling you to do shit like that, because it does focus your mind, and to the untrained mind, it can help you reach your higher self, but that's not my way. I can't even go with therapy. Like even like normal shit that people do don't even work for me. But I've learned how to survive in this world. I've learned how to survive in a world that constantly ignores the well-being of Black LGBTQ people. That's where I'm not even going to talk about Jussie Smollett. But bottom line is that we're kind people. We are humans. And we experience the full range of human emotions. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like we're constantly devalued in this dimension because the gag is that our humanity is valued in another dimension. And it doesn't mean that it's another place or a separate place, but our humanity is valuable in a world where there are a whole other set of rules or additional set of laws of nature. Because what we got right now is weird. It's like super, super weird. Like I don't even want to like go outside. It's so weird. But I feel compelled to perpetuate my existence. So fuck y'all. I'm here. You got to get used to me, bitch. My old boss called it divine adjustment disorder. And I'm like, yeah, you'll get used to me. It's fine. Because I'm not changing. Fuck that. You know how long it's taken me to get to this point? Like, what? And to change? No, bitch, I can't. You got to change. Oh, I'm high energy? No, how about you're medium, low energy? Because I feel great. You are probably just suffering. And that's fine. You don't have to, like, be anything. But, I want to ask you a few questions. Send me your answers at host@centersun21.com, okay? You can also tweet me, all those great things at CenterSun21 on Twitter. Also today, in my out of curiosity and by mistake is more normally how I do things up in this bitch. That's why I just set my life up to just be open to accept anything. I've launched Devon.org, my blog. And so the whole purpose of Center of the Sun podcast was to give me time and space to figure out what the fuck I'm about to do with my whole brand, my brand as a musician and a songwriter and a producer. So you'll be seeing more music and stuff from me. I don't know what the fuck I'm about to do, but yes, I do. I have a plan, but it's like, how am I going to do it? Because I have a full-time job. And I already work overtime every week. Like I work 50 to 55 hours a week. And it's not going to slow down. It's actually going to get worse because guess who gets to cure HIV? Ow! I'm so happy. I love my job. So I get to work on the HOPE study. The HOPE Act was passed by President Obama. Bam. And it allows us to do more shit with science in terms of HIV organs and shit like that. HIV, people who live with HIV, we can now transplant their organs legally. Ain't no need to be out here crying and dying for no reason, because people with HIV can choose to get a HIV positive organ, and so can HIV negative people. So, that's what we're going to be doing in the future. We got cure studies. We got injectable versions of medication. I don't know why I'm talking like that. I don't know where I'm getting my announcer voice from. I think I'm just like, really doing hand motions and everything. I wish you could see me, but I'm living vicariously through black women all of a sudden. Tamar Braxton is my new idol, and Cardi B, I guess. I'm just trying to be like a sassy black woman today, But anyway, Devon.org, DVAUGHN, that's how you spell my name. Don't wear it out. If you can't spell it, it's not for you. Don't try. Head on over to Devon.org for more information about who I am, about my daily life, because I don't post that shit on social media. I don't own that shit. I only post... I'm not posting my life on social media because I don't own the content that therefore is shared. Duh. Why would I give Twitter and them people my fucking rights and my face? No, you get a selfie here and there, but that's it. You're not getting a whole blog, a micro blog, so you can mine it and steal my shit. Fuck you, bitch. Anyway. Woo. Thank you. Thank you for listening. We actually have a topic today. We're talking about numerology, and I wanted to ask you a few questions before we got there, and I wanted you to send me your answers, host@centersun21.com, or tweet me at centersun21 on Twitter. Do you feel compelled to perpetuate your existence? If so, If so, therefore, I choose to fight with you. Also, first question. Did your soul choose your body? It's weird to think about. When we've been talking about the esoteric energy system and the esoteric energy bodies, the different ways that our consciousness and our mind and our body and our spirit intersect. Then, second question, if your soul chose your body, therefore did your soul choose this reality/existence? I say yes. I say yes. Oh my God, that's a good song, but I'm not a Christian anymore. Lord, yes, I'll say yes. I'll say yes. Lord, yes. Lord, yeah, yeah. Anyway, it's time to take care and find a way to cope. And I say this not because I want to devalue medical professionals or professionals at large. I also want us to be able to cope even when those people are on vacation, when we don't have any other way to fix ourselves. We should be able to slip into our memory bank, revert to a lesson that we've learned, a time in our life that we figured something out. And if we can do that, we've won half the battle. And then we can use medication and our tools and our resources to get where we need to be. But at least we aren't hurting ourselves and hurting others. So I want you to find a way to cope. Okay, and we're going to talk about numerology today. And today is just an introduction because it's hard. These concepts are so big. I can only give you a snippet. And we're going to keep talking about esotericism and occult meditation practices because it's weird. It's I'm high when I'm done. I've been meditating and stuff, and it's I'm high. It's hard to get out of it. It's you slow your brain waves down so much. It's it's waking up out of a deep sleep. It's the weirdest fucking feeling ever. But I feel it's making new brain cells or something. I don't know. But I want you to join me in this quest. And I want you to feel your feelings again. That's the point. It's literally that's your power. Like, your emotions are your powers. Unfortunately, that's just how we're built. And once you start understanding your emotions and how your emotions play into your daily life, I think you can find a way to avoid the negative emotions and find the memories that made you most human. So the memories, those are important. The emotions, those are important. The feelings, we need them. Answers lie between those things. Observe yourself. That's the point. That's why we have to talk about numerology, because observation allows us to be the judge of our own conscious courtroom. We're just hoteps. We're just out here hotepping the fuck out of our own shit. Anyway, what's numerology, people? Well, I had a book spun up and I closed it. So it's a book on Amazon. I think it's on my cloud reader. Let me go to read.amazon.com. Okay, we're just going to go right in here, this book here. Amazon has, I do Kindle Unlimited. I used to have an affiliate link, but they kicked me out because I didn't sell anything. But I'm like, how am I supposed to sell anything if you never give me a chance? But have you heard of numerology before? Like, ooh, it says 11:11 on the clock. Like, make a wish, honey. That's numerology. Like, oh, my left path is 9. We already touched on numerology because I was excited about life paths. What's your life path? Email me, host@centersun21.com. Also, you can tweet me at centersun21 on Twitter. But numerology is the analysis of numbers, specifically one's date of birth and associated numerical values given to the letters of the alphabet. So I want to point you to a new book. I started reading without even talking about what I'm reading. I think he's Indian. His name is Sunny. Well, his last name is Sunny. Dr. V.Y. Sunny, PhD. No idea what kind of PhD that is. Hopefully it's legit. He wrote a book called, it's on Amazon. His initials, VW, damn. His initials are V and Y, and his last name is Sunny, Sony, S-O-N-Y. He's a doctor. And he wrote a book called Numerology, The Math of Life, the only book you'll ever need. It's on Amazon, unlimited. And he explains numerology as the analysis of numbers, quote, specifically one's date of birth and the associated numerical values given to the letters of the alphabet, specifically one's name, end quote. So numerology to me is basically recognizing that we create worlds with our language. We talked about that. Seven Bowman. Damn it. His name is not Seven Bowman. Damn it. Seven Bomar. Fuck. He runs a website called secretenergy.com. You can link to my affiliate link if you go to devonhouse.com. That's the best way to find crystals because I'm obsessed with pet rocks. I call them pet rocks, but they're valuable. But it's okay. If you want to find secretenergy.com and you want to support the show, please visit devonhouse.com for there's a whole host of products that you can buy. None of them are going to hurt you. I don't sell nothing. I just sell supplements and crystals. That's it. Bam. I take shit legit too. It's really cool. Like, it's weird. Like, my weight is okay. Like, I've been taking fiber and stuff. Like, my body is loving me right now. And I haven't changed my diet. And just like some supplements have just like allowed the waste to just move properly through my body. And that's enough to make a huge difference. And to keep my weight off. Like, I'm 180 and I can't seem to get fat no more. I don't know. But anyway, I also stopped eating vegetable oil. Anyway, so numerology, quote, also examines such numbers and their extraordinary effects on one's life and associated energy vibrations. So we know that esoteric energy systems exist. We know that for sure. Well, I mean, it depends on your path, on your life path. I particularly believe that the esoteric energy system is real. along with, so I'm going to continue on. Along with the interpretation of such information to provide insight and guidance. Continuing on, quote, numerology is a science that allows practitioners to help with clients learn more about who they are, what they become, and what they expect in the years ahead. However, it also brings some practitioners far beyond that to a place where knowledge stops being theory and becomes an experience. I hope you will become such a practitioner. The dictionary defines numerology as a branch of knowledge that deals with the occult significance of numbers. In numerology, an astrologer relates each number and alphabetical character to a particular number and believes that that particular number has some sort of cosmic vibration. That we know for sure. That we can measure with science. Even numbers, everything has a vibration. So per Hindu astrology, so Dr. Sony goes on to, to say that an astrologer builds relationships between numbers and alphabetical characters to a particular number from 1 to 9, and each number 1 to 9 is represented by planets. For example, number 1, we are the center of the sun. That's my theme song, but I haven't finished writing it. Number 2 is represented by the planet Moon, because in the esoteric energy system, we count the sun, the moon as planets. We don't count Neptune and Pluto, or Uranus and Pluto. No one exactly knows the origin of numerology. It's ancient. That's where it all started. A lot of the ideas that I'm touching on are all ancient folk ideas. The Pythagorean and Chaldean schools of numbers are the most commonly used. We use this shit every day. Our houses, our buildings, our cars, our medicine, our clothes, everything is built on math. Egypt and all that kind of stuff, all of it goes together. So that's enough of that book. I was on secretenergy.com. They have this whole setup. It's actually very enlightening. It's so cute. I'm like, I just want to, it's kind of too much. Like, it's too like, oh, I love, vibrations, wholeness, but I'm like, no. All this toxic positivity is killing me, Biggs. But I still find value in people that are curious and want to learn and just want to share. Don't want to sell me nothing. Like, if they want to sell me something, it's to help me and to help themselves. Like, nothing more. It's not evil, like, that's the kind of shit I want to be associated with. I don't want to be associated with R. Kelly on Twitter, or I don't want to be associated with Jussie Smollett. I don't want to be associated with people that are weird and evil and rude. Nicki Minaj. Like, there's all these things, like, y'all are fucked up out here. And so I'm trying to find a new reality. I'm trying to find a new culture, because I can't be a part of this. I love Cardi B because she's authentic. That's it. Everybody else is making me feel weird inside. I only know what I can intuit from my feelings. Like, that's all I can do. And I only back winning horses or whatever. So if you see me supporting something, it's not because I've thoroughly researched it. It's literally because the feeling I get when I interact with that thing that I'm supporting is a good feeling. If I don't promote it, I don't support it. Therefore, let's get into numerology. So I was on secretenergy.com. They have this whole group. If you become an ambassador or whatever, you can become an affiliate, and I'm trying to sell their crystals, okay? And when you become a part of this thing, you get to be a part of their forums on discord.com. And they have this one tab called, they have all these tabs. You can promote your stuff, whatever, and you can ask questions. But one of the big things about it is sharing information, and I share this podcast there. If you're listening, thank you for listening. If you're a part of the Secret Energy Tribe or whatever it is, I'm trying to get used to it. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I'm friendly, but I'm not nice. I'm just like, oh, I need side eye. Like, I don't accept everything, like. But that's the point of the entire knowledge base. It's a knowledge base, really. So I was browsing through the books, just a little nerdy Devon, just browsing books here, and I found this PDF from from numerologist.com, and it was really cool. It's just very succinct. It's like a PDF file. It's like 16, 15 pages. And it starts by saying, do you ever feel like certain numbers are following you? And I'm like, yes, bitch. Like, yes. Oh my God. And I always thought it was because of confirmation bias. I thought when you see things, so what is confirmation bias? Let's start there. Confirmation bias, go to google.com. Or not, or I guess we use DuckDuckGo. What is confirmation bias? What is confirmation bias, Google? Confirmation bias, according to Google, is the tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of one's existing beliefs or theories. So I just thought it was like, when you start, seeing slug bugs, slug bug, whatever the thing was where you hit somebody in the arm when you saw a Volkswagen Beetle drive by, you say slug bug 2000 or something. I don't know what we used to say. And then all of a sudden you always see Volkswagen Beetles everywhere. I thought that was confirmation bias. I mean, I thought that was numerology. Like, that's what happens when we see like synchronicities on the phone, or on the clock or on our phone or whatever it is. We see these numbers. But do you ever see the same numbers every time you look at the clock? Like 1111, 333, 1234. And this PDF goes on to say, perhaps those same numbers or patterns of numbers seem to appear everywhere you go, on receipts, phone numbers, license plates, addresses, billboards, lottery tickets, or account numbers. These could be repeating numbers, ascending or descending, meaning going up or coming down, or perhaps numbers which carry a stronger significance, your birth date, or like the number 911 for an emergency. Like, isn't that weird how 9/11 is 9/11, September 11th, 2001 is an emergency, and our tried and true emergency number has always been 9/11. Did we do that, or is that the coincidence? Even before, so this PDF from numerologist.com goes to say, quote, even before the highly digitized world we live in today, numbers were found everywhere. In science, astronomy, music, art, mathematics. Much like Leonardo da Vinci's Virtue in Man, numbers form the foundation of everything found in nature. Tiny little nautilus shells, buried deep in the ocean floor, to delicate flower petals, to prickly pineapples, all the way up to the most gorgeous galleries, and yes, baked in our very core of our existence. Every single moment of every single day, number patterns are swirling all around you. The chair you're sitting on, the coffee you're drinking, me, the air you're breathing, all matter and energy vibrate at a specific frequency and carries a hidden numerical code. If you remember last episode, Chakra Part 2, we talked about the esoteric energy system. Everything interacts with the vibration. We just happen to be supreme beings, and our shit is like a computer, and we could send and receive. Like, what? But what does that mean? So the numerologist goes on to say, what the fuck does that mean? And the numerologist.com people say it's not a coincidence. It may previously have been easy to regard these numbers as soulless carriers of quantity. But numbers are anything but. They are exquisite keepers of some of the purest forms of energy in the universe, of archetypal wisdom and ancient earth knowledge that needs to be reheard and remembered in this modern world we inhabit today. So if certain numbers are repeatedly showing up in your life, it's time to sit down and take note. Literally, And it's like, is it confirmation bias? Because like now that I'm like more aware of like numerology, I'm like, oh my God, like number 1111, like it's here, like get your wishes together. But no, literally, when I need confirmation, if I'm asking myself a question and I just look for a synchronicity, or if I want to confirm something within myself or a feeling within myself, I just look at the clock. Is there a synchronicity? I work with the damn thermometer right behind my back. Every time I look back and I need to think of something, it's 77.7 degrees in that damn lab. Or every time it's just like, is when it has ever been 70. And I literally record the temperature every day. So I could probably find the synchronicities if I wanted to look them up. But there are number patterns, and we talked about life paths, and I feel like it's important. And synchronicities, like repeating numbers, like, so I keep mentioning 1111. Let's just go to 1111. So how does the numerologist people, so if you see 1111 on the clock, this number, according to numerologist.com, is the number of instant manifestation. Okay, that's probably why that's very common, and we say make a wish. You are in clear alignment with universal energy at that present moment. So focus only on the thoughts and feelings you wish to take with you into your future. With manifestation mastery comes great responsibility. So ensure you have the highest good of all set firmly in your intentions. When you see this number, you are being divinely supported. It's a beautiful and powerful omen. So isn't that cool? And you intuitively know that that's true. Whether or not it's just because you're being socialized to believe it's true or that it's actually true, you can only go on your feelings. That's what our esoteric energy system, our chakras, that's where our emotions are stored. Like when you get nervous and you have to take a shit. I'm just saying. Anyway. Come on, somebody. Another one that I always see is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I always see that one. Let's see if I can find that one. That synchronicity. Let's see. Ascending numbers. If you see ascending numbers, 1, 2, 3 are the numbers ascending. 1, 2. Shit, what is it? Where is it? I guess it's just those are the ascending numbers. Yeah. Sorry, I'm like scrolling through this thing. So 1, 2, 3 and other sequences. Other number. Sorry, I'm reading too fast. I'm getting like really excited, and I'm like reading and thinking faster than I'm like moving. 1, 2, 3 and other ascending number sequences are clear signs of simplicity and progression. You are moving towards your life path. Continue taking one firm step at a time. They may also be a sign that you're overcomplicating things, creating unnecessary drama, or taking the long route when there's a direct alternative to receive this reminder. So receive this reminder to pare back and simplify. You could benefit from delegating, releasing, and streamlining some parts of your life. Isn't that cool? So try to be creative with this kind of stuff, This is not something that has to be like super serious. Like you can just like have fun and start looking for synchronicities. Like if you understand how radio waves work or anything like gamma rays or cosmic radiation, background microwaves and all that kind of stuff, all of that stuff is basically can be put into the form of a number. Any vibration can be put into the form of a frequency measured in hertz. So yeah, you can't tell me numerology is not important from a social standpoint, from just like a personal, just like a individual standpoint, because it's valuable in the larger context of the cosmos and the larger context of the universe. And if we revert back to any episode of Center of the Sun, we know that what as above, what so below. Yeah. Anyway, that was my little. I wish I had a little sound effects. Oh my god, I need to make sound effects. That's going to come in the future. Devon.org is going to be fucking lit. I'm just going to work over the next, in 2019, we're expanding our territory. We're releasing our audience, we're releasing our net to capture the widest. We're releasing our net and knocking over empty Sprite bottles in my bedroom. Anyway, we're releasing our net and catching a wide audience because somebody's going to want to hear this and they need to. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening. You have been listening to Center of the Sun podcast. If you have questions or need to, just like connect with somebody that is not shitty, Jesse Smollett, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. I hope you're okay, but something is wrong terribly, and you're kind of a shitty person, and there's no excuse. I'm sorry. There is no excuse because unless you were being under duress, there is really no other excuse. So help me understand. But you have the benefit of the doubt. And to Jussie Smollett, I am just happy that no one's hurt. Like, can we just acknowledge the fact that no one was a victim of a hate crime directed towards black gay men? Like, that was the only thing I was actually worried about, was that there was this cultural hatred towards us. Again, like more on top of what we already go through. Anyway, if you need to talk or need to, I want to say if you need to reschedule, but I'm not calling you for a reminder for an appointment. You can email me, host@centersun21.com, or you can tweet me or DM me too. That's possible. Centersun21 on Twitter. Today is the launch of Devon.org. Visit Devon.org if you want to connect, with more than just this podcast. There are many things that I'm going to be sharing over the next couple, instances of interactions on the internet. So I can't give you a timeline. But anyway, thank you for listening, and I will catch you on a later date. Take care.